Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. Turning now to New Jersey. Police are investigating this disturbing incident caught on cell phone video. The video shows a black teen held down on the ground and handcuffed after a mall fight with a white teen who was directed to just sit down on a couch rather than being handcuffed as well. The video, which was posted online, shows the two teens arguing inside the Bridgewater Commons Mall in New Jersey. The pair began pushing each other and then throwing punches before both fell on the floor. When two Bridgewater Township police officers arrived, one officer is seen pinning the black teen to the ground and handcuffing him. Then the female officer is seen pushing the white teen onto a couch before then going over to help the other officer. Take a closer look.
Chill, Brian, get out, Brian, leave. Oh no. Yo, it's because he's black. Racially motivated.
And you can see there at what point the white teen actually stands over the officer, something they don't like, and he offers himself up for handcuffing and is merely told to sit down once again. Now, according to the Bridgewater police, the incident is under investigation. They have asked the Somerset County DA's office to handle that investigation. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said yesterday that he is, quote, deeply disturbed by what appears to be racially disparate treatment in this video, unquote. All right. I want to bring in my special guest right now, Zakai and his dad, Jihad, and civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is now representing the father and son and the whole family. Thank you all for being with me tonight. Truly appreciate you being here. Let me start with you, young man. And first of all, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know this can't be easy for you. I'm sorry this happened to you. I know dealing with police under these types of circumstances can be traumatic. So let me ask you, how are you holding up? How are you doing after this incident?
It's hard. I gotta try to think about when they pinned me down and stuff, and how they treated me differently, and why they were so aggressive with me, and not with the other kid. And it's like, and I know there's some people that disagree with the whole situation, so I can't go out with my friends and stuff and see everybody. And I just didn't expect all this to happen.
Yeah, you know, with things like this, they always affect the whole community. They just don't affect one person. If you can, and the best you can, you know, all we see is this little video where you guys are getting ready to go at it, and then you end up fighting with him. Tell me the story. What happened? What led up to what we're seeing on that video?
So me and my friend were talking, and the high schooler, he comes up and starts bothering my younger friend. He's in 7th grade. And he was bullying him because he was younger and smaller and stuff. He was calling him his little pet and things like that. And I didn't like the fact that he was bullying him. I don't like bullies, so I say something about it. He puts his hands in my face. I slap it away after asking him to get his hands out of my face. And then he pushes me, so I start throwing punches. We end up on the ground. The male officer, he puts his knee in my back and starts putting handcuffs on me. And then the lady officer leaves the high schooler to come and put handcuffs on me and put her knee in my back. And then when I'm sat down and everything, the high schooler is expecting to get handcuffed and stuff. He's asking why he's not getting handcuffed, and the lady officer still leaves him alone, basically pats him on the shoulder like it's good.
And a lot of people all around are sort of noticing the fact that you were the only one handcuffed. Were you actually arrested or taken somewhere? What happened right after?
Oh, I sat in handcuffs. I just sat there for 30 minutes. They were asking me questions, and we went to a security room with a bunch of to look at the camera footage of what happened.
All right, now Jihad, can you tell us a little bit about your son? Again, all we know is what we're seeing on this video. We hear the story behind it. Tell us a little bit more about your son, what he's like, so we can get a picture of that.
Zakai, he's a good kid. And he, loves sports, loves hanging out with friends. He comes home, he does his homework. He's really an upbeat kid, never had any run-ins with the law, never had any run-ins in school. So this is very, very scary of a situation to experience this treatment to a child that's never had any negative anything about him. So it's really affecting us as a family.
All right, Ben, let me get you into the conversation now. I want to get from you what you see in that video. What's happening there? And I'm not talking about the fight or whatever. What's happening with those police officers? See if you can put that into words for us.
Well, Michael, as I'm still here in Minneapolis with my clients, the family of Dante Wright, I see in that video a lot of what we saw in Minneapolis, implicit bias system that always gives Black people and people of color the most of injustice and white people the most of justice. Literally, when you see the video, they make a determination that it is the Black kid that is guilty and the white kid is innocent. And even though the white kid was on the top of him, they pull him off, sit him down, and take the Black kid to the ground, Zakai face down, and Zakai's then have a knee in his back and handcuffs while the white kid just watches him being humiliated. My police expert tells us that this was so inappropriate on every level because the white kid is allowed, if he wanted to do harm. She didn't even secure him. She was so concerned about this young Black kid. And it's very troubling because then, Michael, he puts his hands up to be handcuffed, but yet she says, pass him on the shoulder, tell him you're free to go. And they continue to detain this young Black kid, Zakai. And what we all think is if they sweep this under the rug, because a lot of people are saying, what's the big deal? He wasn't hurt, he wasn't killed. Well, that's the issue. If we don't deal with it now, it becomes a Trayvon Martin. It becomes an Ahmaud Arbery, or it becomes the dynamic where you have that tens of thousands of Black men sitting in American prisons wrongfully convicted because they were presumed guilty.
Yeah, and you know what? I couldn't agree more. This is one small incident in a mall involving two teens in a fight, but you're exactly right. You can extrapolate what happened here. And really, it goes to all of the brutality that we're seeing, all of the things that people have been complaining about, the things you've been on the front lines fighting in terms of implicit bias. That's what might be happening. But let me ask you this. There is a investigation underway. The only thing I can think of is the police talked about receiving a call from the community. Quickly, here's their statement. The Bridgewater police, they said that we recognize that this video has made members of our community upset and are calling for an internal affairs investigation. The officers were able to respond quickly to this incident and stop it from escalating because of a tip we received from the community. We have requested that the Somerset County Prosecutor's Office assist us in this matter. The only thing I can think of, Ben, is maybe the call that came in might have suggested that the Black teen was the aggressor in some way, and maybe that's what drove them to act the way they did. Does that make any sense?
It makes no sense at all. Zakai had done nothing at that mall. They have all kind of video surveillance. Don't you know, Mike, if they had something that Zakai did, they would have already released it. Zakai wasn't threatening anybody. I just think his father, Jihad, a veteran of the United States Army, we fight for these things called equal justice under the law. We see in Minneapolis today, and we see on this video in New Jersey, that was not equal justice in any one of those scenarios with these Black victims not getting what people would call anywhere near equal justice.
Jihad, I know as a Black father as well, I know sending your kid out into the world in this situation is always very difficult. What are you hoping comes out? We hear there's investigation going on. It's going to be done by perhaps an independent office, as stated there by the Bridgewater police. What are you hoping comes out of this investigation?
I hope they find exactly what everybody in this world is saying, that this was unjust and that my son was treated unfairly and that these cops be held accountable. That's what I want. I want justice.
All right, and Zakai, I want to give you the last word. We're running out of time here. Again, I appreciate your bravery coming on and talking about this. Any last words you want to say about this incident and what your hopes are going forward?
I just want everybody to realize how certain people, based off their looks and the color of the skin, are treated differently, and how they shouldn't be treated differently, and everybody should know and realize in what ways.
All right. Well, Zakai, Jihad, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Ben Crump, as always, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Truly appreciate it. You guys have a great weekend.
Thank you,
And same
brother.
to you.
All right.